Hi, my name is Karthike and I'm a human. Sounds pretty obvious, doesn't it? But have you guys ever consciously thought and wondered as to what being human really means? Well, think about this. We humans evolved from an organism that anthropologists today refer to as the CHLCA, or the chimpanzee human last common ancestor. I'll call them chilkas for short. Well, one day, millions of years ago, some of these chilkas left their home in the trees and then ventured out into the unknown. They probably weren't able to handle the competition given to them by some of their stronger counterparts. They encountered a lot of problems. The trees had offered relative safety from predators. But on the ground, the chilkas had to improvise and they had to find new ways to protect themselves. That's when one of them picked up two rocks and started sculpting them together. What he ended up with was a kind of a rough knife, and on using that efficiently, he found out that it could hurt potential enemies and predators, thus acting as a means for our protection. We humans always had to improvise, and that improvisation eventually resulted in our survival. The chilkas on the trees evolved to become the chimpanzees, and the ones who ventured out into the unknown on the ground they became us. We humans had to improvise and survive in a dangerous world filled with predators. And that improvisation eventually acted as a means for our success and development as a species. Due to a small mutation happening in the genes of a primate, we originated. We learned how to take control of fire, which gave us the ability to cook. We learned how to take advantage of rolling objects by making them into wheels, and integrated ourselves into a functioning society. Slowly but surely, we hurled ourselves into the Industrial Revolution, and afterwards, we began to exponentially grow into an era of information where we could connect computers together in a global network, which we now know as the Internet. Scientists say that the human mind is only about as big as two of our fists put together. To me, it was really just an average sized organ, but it has achieved so much more than what I thought it was really capable of. So, a little about me. I consider myself by and large as someone you might call an extrovert. I like to connect with other people and learn about their side of the story. This led me to sign up for activities such as Model United Nations conferences and, I dare say, the Reddit Club. My observations in both of these activities was that I was constantly put into a state of critical thinking. I had to analyze facts and would have to brood over as to what conclusion those facts led me to. I had to get people's suggestions on my opinions. And I wanted to do that simply because it was so different. Everybody had drastically different schools of thought. And when I came back, I always wondered, why did everybody think differently? And what was their side of the story? What I discovered was that I couldn't support one particular opinion. On hearing the full extent of what people had to say, I could understand why people thought what they thought, how their experience of life differed from mine, and why they chose a certain way to think. I thought it was quite fascinating. And it is, because we humans are living in a time of rapid progression, where the level of development and mental thought is rising to unscalable heights. If we compress the whole existence of the human race in a total of just 50 years, 10 years ago, under this standard of measurement, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year, and then less than 2 months ago, the steam engine provided a new source of power, while Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights, telephones, automobiles, and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. We have literally reached the stars before midnight tonight, while in the last 10 minutes, fidget spinners became the new fad. The scale at which we have progressed in the last few years is totally unprecedented. And seriously, this is our speciality. We're no longer animals who are trying to prevent ourselves from getting eaten. Instead, we are a highly advanced and progressive species who are living in a very highly advanced and progressive society.
Okay, bro.
Here you go. Making laws which benefit everybody else and ourselves as well. We have survived 2 world wars, which were brought into motion by ourselves, and because of that, we have realized the importance of peace, paving the way for worldwide international organizations that make the world a better place for all of us humans. Presently, we are a species who are trying to make the first shy attempts to leave our planet and expand into our immediate surroundings. Yes, we have progressed a lot. We should understand that humanity is a choice. We should understand that we are the generation who decide whether in the future it is something that is frowned upon or that is something to be proud of, as it should be. We are the difference, and we need to make sure that the world ushers in a new era of international peace, stability, higher productivity, and higher growth. The human mind is a wondrous thing. It leads us to form opinions, to form the amazing structures we see around us. It also helps us to form emotions, making us feel happy or sad, and to have a conscience which helps us tell right from wrong. I feel proud to have a mind like that, and thus I feel proud being human. We should respect each other's opinions and hear every one of them out. We need to respect the scientists who help us and the doctors who treat us. So let us forget our differences and celebrate as a singular species the message of love over fear. Let us celebrate together, each and everybody else, the wonderful feeling of being human. Thanks for watching.